Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Maganda Manny's YouTube video. Today's video is going to be like a watch me work of my first commission for custom press-on nails. So my friend had reached out to me asking if I would make her a custom set. She sent me some inspo because she was going to a G-Dragon concert. So of course I said yes. And I had so much fun doing this set. Here I'm just showing you like my sketches, the inspo, as well as some of the trial nails that I had made for the set. So here's my design, sketched that out on Procreate, and yeah, let's get right into it. So she had requested a short coffin shape. So I'm just using the Apres natural coffin Gel X tips for this press-on set. Next, I'm going to be using this Ellen Nailed It gel polish. I'm going to be using that for these two teal nails that I've circled on the screen. I'm going to do a coat of that as the base for these two nails. This polish is actually from Ellen Nailed It's spring collection, and I purchased this with the intent to use them for future press-on orders. Since I've started using them, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of them. I use a lot more colors from this collection later on in this set. They're really good. Even one coat, like the coverage is really great. It's like barely even streaky. So I highly recommend checking out Ellen Nailed It for gel polishes. Now I'm going to be taking Perma White from Function of X. It's a really good full coverage white gel polish. I believe it's like an all-in-one formula as well, so no base or top coat needed. I'm just going to be painting on the white gel polish as the base for the three nails that are circled on the screen. So one of them is a black and white checkerboard, and then the other two are kind of like an oil paint, kind of abstract looking type thing that's using a lot of like bright and light colors. So I thought that the white base underneath would help for those colors to shine through with only one coat. Next, I'm going to be taking Black Void from Function of X. Similar to the Perma White, it is a all-in-one formula as well. So I'm just going to be using that to paint a black base on these nails. Next up, I'm going to be painting a jelly black on the remaining nails. This will be our base layer for the jelly black cat eye, kind of like beam of light effect nails. Next, I'm going to be using this syrup gel from Apres from their Light and Shadow collection in this nice light gray color as the base for the hollow cat eye. Next, I'm going to be building up that beam of light effect on the jelly black nails using this silky cat eye from Daily Charm. The shade is Moonkitty, and I think I've used this in my previous video for my Doing the Most nail set. As you can see, the cat eye is like pretty clear and very silky. Kind of a perfectionist, so I used very many strokes to paint the surface of this nail. And then here you can kind of see me using a cylindrical magnet to bring out the shine in the magnetic particles, kind of just like going around the side to make it look super glassy. And then once I'm happy with how those magnetic particles look, I will put my magnet in like this circular shape to kind of bring all the particles to the center. Next, I'm going to be working on the hollow cat eye effect for that pinky nail. I'm kind of choosing between these two rainbow holographic cat eye polishes that I have. One from Daily Charm and one's from DVOK. Here I'm kind of just looking at the polish to see if it's going to give the effect that I want. I think I end up using both of them for this hollow nail. But I'm going to start off with the Daily Charm one. The shade is Unikitty. Just going to bring out the sparkle with my cylinder magnet. It's pretty hard to see that hollow cat eye effect on camera because of the lighting, but in person it really looks spectacular. Now I'm just going to be building up that jelly black. So I've been alternating jelly black with cat eye. Once I finished with this coat of cat eye, I'm gonna give that a cure in my UV lamp. Next, I'm gonna go in with the second layer of the hollow cat eye. This time I'm going in with the DVOK shade. You can see the hollow effect on this cat eye a little bit better. I'm gonna use my magnet to bring out the sparkle. Finally going in with the last layer of jelly black on these beam of light nails. Now I'm going in with this terrazzo effect gel from, not sure where this is from, a Korean brand. But you can see that there's all these like black and white and gold and silver flakies. And I'm gonna paint that in a thin layer on the black nail. This nail has kind of like a graffiti paint splatter effect going on. So I thought that this gel would be good to use for the paint splatter effect. I'm just using my brush to move those glitter particles around to where I would like them. Now I've got my black D-gel full painting gel pot, and I'm gonna use that to make the checkerboard for this pinky nail that I've got up on the screen. I'm just gonna use my Sweetie Nail Supply liner brush to make a grid, kind of like draw out the grid lines for the checkerboard pattern before I go in and fill in the squares. I've left this part in real time so you can kind of get an idea of how long it takes me to draw out these grid lines, and then I'll speed it up for you guys later when I'm filling in the squares. Here I'm just marking out which squares need to get filled in. It's really easy to mess this up, so I just like to give myself a reminder with these marks. Next, I'm going to be working on these like colorful abstract nails. So here I'm just showing you the colors that I've picked out for these nails. I've got a few Model 1's gel polishes, a tiny gel polish, as well as 4 from that Ella Nailed It collection that I had mentioned earlier in the video. So here I've just put all of those colors onto a palette, so it's easy for me to access them. Now I'm just going to take this flat brush and I'm just going to dab blobs of color in like a random fashion all over these white nails. I'm wiping off my brush in between some of the colors. I don't want them to get mixed up and like muddy. So you can just see, I'm just gonna place any of these colors anywhere I want pretty much until the whole nail is filled. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to take this fan brush and I'm just going to lightly drag it across the surface of the nail to slightly blend those colors together, kind of feather them into each other without like blending them significantly. So you can still kind of see like the distinct blobs of color. I'm not using much pressure at all for this. And then I'm going to repeat that same process for the other white nail. After feathering the colors into each other, I just kind of go back in with some more of the colored gel polish to fill in any bald spots. And then I'll go back and use the fan brush to feather those colors again. And now I am grabbing out my reference. These were my like test nails that I had done prior to starting my friend's set. And now I'm gonna just be looking at my reference nail with this cat to use as a guide to kind of help me paint this onto this teal nail. I've left some of this footage in real time so that you can see how long it kind of takes me to sketch out the cat. Here, I'm just like doing the outline of the head, trying to get the proportions right. cleanup brush with isopropyl alcohol to kind of perfect the shape of that cat head. The cat's going to be wearing a blue sweater, and so I'm going to map out the shape of the sweater with the white gel polish so that I only need to use one coat of the blue. I'm just going to be filling in the rest of the details of the cat, so I'm going to speed this up, and voiceover Johnna will be back later on. And here's our finished cat. And now I'm grabbing my Dino white poster painting gel, and I'm gonna use this to paint the clouds on this teal nail that I just had up on the screen. Next, I'm going to be painting faces on the clouds using that same light blue color that I used for the cat's sweater. For the next design, I've just pulled out my reference again. I'm going to be doing this like U with the umlaut. It's got like a gothic typeface, similar to the one that's used on the Ubermensch album. For this next design, I'm going to be painting some daisies on top of that terrazzo gel. For this look, I am trying to achieve like a layered petal look. So later on, you'll see me paint a coat of base coat after I finish doing the first layer of petals, and then I will go in with a second layer of petals to give kind of like some depth to the flower. Finally, to finish off the flowers, I'm just going to use my dotting tool to put a yellow center into each of the daisies. the next design, I'm going to be doing it on one of the abstract nails. I'm going to be doing this like I Heart GD design. Our next design is going to be this white peace sign that I'm just going to draw onto this beam of light jelly black nail. Next, for this checkered nail, I'm just going to be drawing a yellow smiley face. So I'm using my D-Gel yellow potted gel paint. And I'm just going to struggle a little bit. I'm going to use multiple different tools, one of which is a dotting tool, and then 2 different brushes to eventually paint this little yellow circle for the face. My next design is going to be the outline of a crown on one of the jelly black nails. You'll see me struggle a lot with this. I think I start over maybe like 4 or more times. I also switched from using the yellow gel paint to a yellow acrylic paint marker, which I think I scrapped that eventually and then like went back to using the gel paint. So yeah. That was kind of a challenge, but I thought it turned out really well. Our next design is going to be this like graffiti design. The inspo that my friend had sent me looked like the original artist used like acrylic paint pens. And so I actually purchased a set off of Amazon just to use for this set. They were like surprisingly easy to work with. You could see that I was having some trouble with like the opacity of the white. But when I started using like the brush end, I feel like a lot more paint was like flowing out. Yeah, they were really easy to work with. I bought a set that was like 24 colors. So I had all of the colors that I wanted to use. So I'm excited to use these paint pens again in the future. For this black lettering, I use the Pigma Micron felt tip pen, like ultra fine felt tip pen. I already had this on hand from like bullet journaling. For the next and final design, I will be trying to draw the Ubermensch album cover. So it kind of looks like two people, but like also a rock formation. And I use the acrylic paint pen again with the brush end, and it made drawing this like rock formation really easy. And then here I realized that the cat was like kind of missing something. So here I'm just like adding a little bit more detail to the sweater with like the neckline and like the sleeves, like, you know, like the scrunchy part of your sweater. I go in with like that blue mixed with a little bit of black to kind of like make it deeper, but then I realized like a black neckline and sleeves looked better. So that's what I'm doing here. Next, I'm going to be using some D-Gel Honey Base to seal in the nail art for any of the nails that have the acrylic paint pens on them. Since that's not a gel product, I just want to make sure that it's like fully encapsulated within gel so that there's no risk of like chipping or scratching. And finally, it's time to top coat the nail set. So I'm just using my favorite top coat, Crazy Top Standard, and I will just apply a generous coat of that to all of the nails using my Nail Bio Dewy brush, the square brush. I believe it's 002. And finally, here is the finished nail set with all of the top coat applied. I'm really happy with how these turned out. It was so much fun doing them. I have included some footage like in my light box so that you can kind of see the cat eye effect in different lighting. Yeah, I love doing like K-pop inspired nails, and I really love doing like custom press-on sets, like working with you to kind of like make your vision come to life. So if that's something that you're interested in, I will link my custom press-on form in the description. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching.